Okay, welcome back to the channel. We are going to talk about the Reforged Ultra Test update, and rather than just give you my opinion on this, I am going to harness the power of AI to bring you a general consensus from across the entire player base. I hope you're going to like this content. If you do, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you agree or disagree with what my friend Claude is about to tell us, then please leave your comments in the usual place. So let's get into it and find out what AI has got to say about the Reforged update. Okay, so I've chatted with my mate Claude here and asked Claude to scour the internet for information available on the Reforged Ultra Test 2 update and given an honest assessment here based on the perspective of a 5-year veteran player. So let's go through what Claude has uncovered, the overall community reception is that Ultra Test appears to be addressing many of the major complaints from the first Ultra Test. This includes the return of the tech tree, the addition of an all-tank screen, the flexible filters, and the fact that you've been allowed to keep your research, tank research progressions, which we know were omitted from the first version of the Ultra Test. And you can see there positive changes, the tech tree return, it's been brought back. You're keeping that research, as I've mentioned. The controversial set system has been refined, but emphasis there on the controversial set system. And they did a couple of little tweaks as well in the background. I don't think these were things that people necessarily complained too much about, but replay, spectator mode, and platooning have been introduced into the Ultra Test 2. And they've restored the classic colors, mainly the green color for the friendly tanks, and they fixed some visual issues. I'm not 100% convinced about that, Claude, but nevertheless, that is the opinion that he has scoured from across the internet, and not just my opinion. Community concerns. He mentions limited community feedback. We will come back to Claude on that one in a moment, but there is a worry of the Fortnitification of the game becoming too arcade-like, and one of the communities reflected that they hope that World of Tanks Blitz fails hard, so that wargaming can learn the right lessons from it. And of course, there is the Ultra Engine 5, promising smooth animations, faster load times, and crisp visuals. But of course, that is yet to be tested, or the performance has been tested on mobile devices that many Blitz players use. So the assessment as a 5-year player, the good is that Wargaming is clearly listening to the feedback and making adjustments. And they have mentioned the requirement for feedback and how they've listened to the feedback multiple times. So I do believe that is the case. The return of the core features, such as the tech tree, shows that they do understand what players value, and the visual improvements could breathe new life into the game. But here are some of the concerns. The fact that they had to fix so many basic features suggests that the initial redesign was far too radical. The set system seems experimental rather than proven, and there's no clear timeline for the full release. And Claude's saying that creates uncertainty, but it's actually a bit of an opportunity there for the player base, because it means there is still time for us to provide those positive and negative feedback points to Wargaming. The bottom line is, for Ultra Test 2, as far as Claude is concerned, is that it feels like damage control from the first test. And that first test went too far away from World of Tanks Blitz's roots. And Ultra Test 2 addresses many of the complaints. There's a sense of relief in the community rather than excitement. And of course, success will ultimately depend on whether this Unreal Engine 5 improves and enhances the classic Blitz experience rather than fundamentally changing it. And I suspect the feeling at the moment is that it is a fundamental change rather than an enhancement on the current game. Developers need to focus on preserving what makes Blitz unique with carefully implemented technical improvements rather than chasing trends from other games. It's evolution the players are seeking, not revolution. So I've gone back to Claude because he mentioned limited community feedback. I think Claude needs to dig deeper and work a little bit harder. So let's see what else he managed to come up with. Some reactions from Steam community here. Bugs haven't been fixed. User ID is not working. Questioning why it's so hard to get that right. That suggests that technical issues are persisting. And again, an enhancement on the quote earlier on about World of Tanks Blitz failing hard. And this is if World of Tanks PC ever becomes retarded Fortnite, it's over for wargaming. Hope that Blitz fails hard with this one, so wargaming can learn the right lessons from it. This reflects a very harsh sentiment. Players would rather see the update fail completely than compromise on the game's identity. That is pretty scathing. Some major red flags, damage control mode, Blitz Reforged is evolving, and the feedback from the first test has helped shape it. This is clearly wargaming, talking about the improved progression system, the bringing back of the tech tree, and so on and so forth. But as Claude mentions, the fact that they had to bring back the tech tree and ensure tanks weren't lost does suggest that Ultra Test 1 was a disaster. And as a 5-year player, Claude is a little bit terrified by this. The sets rebalance, well, that just suggests they're still tweaking the fundamental gameplay mechanics, which indicates that the system is not ready. And the transfer concerns, the addition of 33 keys, so on and so forth. Well, this suggests that the need for a complex transfer system suggests that there is major incompatibility between the current game and the update. So the brutally honest truth here is that it feels like a complete rebuild disguised as an update. The community is more fearful than excited, and basic features have had to be restored rather than improved, and the technical problems persist across the platform. So what is a community mood then, according to Claude? We are testing out of obligation rather than enthusiasm, and the veteran players are hoping that it would fail. Speaks volumes for how far it has strayed from what made Blitz special. I would say the game has strayed from what made Blitz special, but I think the testing is being done not out of obligation, Claude, but more out of hope that we can actually influence further developments. But I don't think when Ultra Test 2 was released, everybody logged in and was absolutely enthusiastic about what they saw. I do think they were still concerned with the way that the game is progressing. So what does that mean for the developers? Well, Claude says you need to seriously consider whether this Reforged is necessary, and the community feedback suggests that you are fixing what wasn't broken while breaking what did work, and the Unreal Engine 5 upgrade should be enhancing the current game, not replacing it entirely. The update appears to be solving problems that didn't exist while creating new ones that are fundamental to the game's identity. So there you have it. That is what Claude thinks from having scoured the internet for player reaction. Do you agree with Claude? Do you disagree with Claude? Let me know in the comments. And if you've enjoyed that video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I would thank you very much for watching.